It's fun time.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of the Pop-Up Shop, a Taco Tuesday podcast production. I want to say peace and love to everybody out there checking us out, showing us support. I'm your host, Chance, and today I have a very, very dope guest. She's an entrepreneur. She's a stylist. She produces fashion shows and events. She is the owner of 81SIXED Fashion Productions. I want everybody to give it up for Janai Milann. So look, real quick, give everybody like a little background on what you do, how you got started, when you got started, that type of thing.
Okay, so yes, I'm the owner of 81SIXED Fashion Productions. I also have my own sustainable clothing and sneaker line, 81SIXED Style. With the both of those, I have been in fashion for a while now. I've been producing fashion shows for about 4 years, and I've always wanted to produce my own fashion show. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna just step out and I'm gonna just do it. So I had my first fashion show it was on January the 17th, and it was really cool. It was the first sustainable fashion show in the third ward of Houston. So it was excellent. It was sold out. It was great. Had great vibes and everything. I was so excited about that. And I actually was a designer there too. So I did have my line and I had a collection there. It was an intro piece called Culture in the Workplace. And it really shed light on how sometimes being Black, you have to really dive deep into how you wear, what you wear, your hair, how you dress, how you talk. And sometimes you have to think twice about even making a statement because we're so looked at it upon as being aggressive and everything. So it was a way to shed light on all of that with that collection. So it was really nice and fun.
Word, congrats on that.
Thank you.
Like, were you one of those kids like growing up, like you always wanted to like be a fashion designer? Like, were you like cutting up the clothes and making new clothes for the dolls and all that?
Honestly, no. It took a while for me to just accept the fact that I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do fashion because I changed what I want to do so much. Like even when I was in college, I changed my degree like 3 or 4 times. But growing up, I really felt like I was going to be like this political activist. And study sociology and go to law school, which I still am. And I'm just like mixing up with fashion now. So that's pretty cool. So like midway through college, I was like, you know what? Fashion is where I want to be. So that's what I'm going to do. But it's funny because growing up, I always dressed differently than everybody else. And so that has always come to me. So like even my parents say like, okay, we knew you were going to be in fashion. We knew you were going to be a stylist. They were just like, I guess, waiting for me to accept that. So that was pretty cool.
Now, when you say dress differently, you mean like your colors was different, or you just had a whole different style than what was
Honestly,
popular?
everything. Like, just like a funny joke. Back in like 2012 is when I started wearing creepers. You know those big soles, the big giant sole shoes, like that's hot right now. I used to wear those back in 2012. And I'm from DC, but I moved to Houston. And I was going to school, and 2012 was my first year of college. And so people were looking at me like, because the fashion is different in Houston, so it's a little slower. I'm not gonna lie, but people were looking at me like, your shoes not supposed to be that thick, or Chucks aren't supposed to have no big ass toes. But I just love dressing the way I dress, so I stayed true to who I was. And I really am glad that I did that because it really like paved the way for the way that I dress now and just being able to style other people. But yeah, I did dress a lot differently. Like I remember one time in school, I was wearing like a bunch of neon colors. Like I mean like 80s down neon colors in middle school. And people were looking at me crazy. And I can't lie, I did get clown. But I'm like, that's the way I like to dress.
Yo, because I'm trying to picture you in all neon, just walking around thinking like this is it.
Yeah, I can't lie. Like now I wouldn't wear it, but back then I thought it was so cool. I know everybody got that outfit they thought was dope growing up that they wouldn't wear again. Yeah. That was one of mine.
You said you're from DC, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're in Houston now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's like the major difference in fashion? I know you referenced that Houston's, I think you said slower, but like, so like what's Houston style compared to like DC style? Like, cause I know you probably be able to like pick out, if you see two dudes, one from Houston, one from DC, you probably can pick out like where they're from, right? So like Like how, like what's the distinct style, I should say, of like it's Houston?
Of just in Houston, the
You
distinct
can do
style.
both, but we'll start with Houston, then we'll go to DC.
Okay. So it's funny because in Houston, like when people think of Texas, like even when I first moved down, when I first thought about like living in Texas, you think about like rodeo, cowboys, and like cowboy boots. But no, Houston is like its own city, and I love it because it's a melting pot. It's very diverse. People come from all over the world and live in Houston. And with that being said, like there's this mix of different cultures. But one thing that really stuck out to me is like the hip hop culture and how deep it is in the fashion world. Like so you'll see like little slogans on shirt like "Pull Up Houston" or Alexa Banks Screw. Fun fact, I did not know what Screw was until I went to Houston. I thought it was this T-Pain stuff. But just to stay on track, like you see the purple drinks in the socks, which is so cool to me. And you see like Houston written in graffiti all over the city, and then you see it in the t-shirts, the socks. Like it's really, really dope. It has its own like aesthetic and vibe, and I love that about Houston. Yeah.
Dope. So as being in Houston, did that influence your style as far as more so like like the stuff you create now? Is it more like is it still authentically you, or is it more like a Houston DC mix? Like
I feel like it's an everything mix. I ain't gonna lie, because one thing I had to get adjusted moving to Houston was the weather. Like sometimes I'm pretty sure you'll see outfits that's called Houston weather. You'll see like, because literally we get all 4 seasons in a week, sometimes in a day. So you really have to think about what you're gonna wear. Like I can wear like a blazer dress or something, throwing some heels with it, with some dope accessories, and that could like fit every little season in Houston because it'd be like cold in the morning, a little like bomb hot in the middle of the day. It might rain a little bit, which might bring some humidity, and then at night it'll get back cool. So like something like a blazer dress or something would be like a good vibe for just in Houston. And then of course giving your own aesthetic to it, dressing it up and everything. But yes, to answer your question, I do feel like just being in Houston for so long and mixing it with all my other styles has progressed my style.
Like I've checked out some of your stuff. I saw that you have mesh sneakers.
Yes.
Right? And they're dope. They're dope. So I was wondering though, like, the sneaker game is usually like it's dominated by like the big major companies. So like what made you want to step into even doing sneakers, and what gave you that, the confidence to be like, I'm doing sneakers? And like I said, they're fire. So like what made you like just want to step into that?
Always been like a sneakerhead, and growing up, like from when I was 8, I would sketch out little shoe designs and be like, one day I'm on a sneaker business. So like I said, like the time is now. You might as well do whatever you want to do now. So I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna do it because regardless, like I love Nike. I love Adidas. Like I love those big brands too. But I also love Milann, and I know what I can. I know how Milann stands out in the certain target market that I have too as well. People who love what I do or who knows what I'm doing or my specific target market are gonna buy from me regardless, because they know my brand, they know what's going on. So that makes me feel comfortable from a marketing standpoint that I can go out and compete with bigger brands. And like I said, like I love Nike, I love Adidas too. I just know like my line is different. And one way that it's different is that it's geared towards upcycling, sustainability, even like with the packaging and everything. And we definitely give back to our community.
Being sustainable is like, that's definitely the most different. I've never seen any brand have that be like part of their identity. Like why was that important to you?
Because I went to fashion school and I really learned about how fashion is the world's second polluter. And regardless of how you look at it, that's bad. We're wasting billions of clothes every year and they're stocking up in these landfills. So by me knowing that and doing the research on that, it's only right that I take that responsibility and say, hey, look, I want to change it, even if it's a little bit, just changing and helping the world, And also because I feel like in today's time, it's more than just fashion and being able to like buy something and picking it up in 2 minutes. by being more sustainable and really like digging deeper, and for example, just even from buying from small businesses and designers, it really helps the world because that's slow fashion and there's less waste.
I was
Thank you.
also checking out your pages and everything. And I was wondering, like, so 81SIXED, like,
Mm-hmm.
what's the, I guess, the history behind that name? Because your name is so dope, right? Janai Milann sounds like it's already a high fashion line, you know? So what made you not use your name and use 81SIXED?
I just felt like the line was bigger than me. I felt like I wanted to leave something for my children. I have a daughter, and she actually is a part of that line. So like, I don't know if y'all can see. Oh, it's backwards. But like 80, this is 81SIXED. If you write it down on a piece of paper, 816, and then put the 8 separate and put it at 16, it's actually my grandmother's birthday. So
Word.
my grandmother's birthday is August the 16th, and she was a big influence in the fashion industry with me. So it's only right that I named it from her, but I just wanted to put it in a unique way. So 8/16, August the 16th is her birthday. And that's just like some
So she
random
was the
thing
influence.
I had from, it was a note project. Sorry, what was that?
Oh no. No, I was saying, so she was the influence
Yeah.
as far as fashion.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's in my blood, to be honest. But from growing up, she used to make our Sunday dresses. We used to all dress alike, and I have a whole bunch of brothers and sisters, and she used to like sew our dresses together and like fix our hair. And she would not leave out the house until she was like on point. So I don't care if she was checking the mail, like grandma had to be. Yeah. So
I also see, like, so you're a stylist too, right? If there was one celebrity though you could style, dead or alive,
Rihanna.
whoa, that was easy.
Okay, but without her, I would say Virgil Abloh. Like, I love him. I do, and he's so talented already. Like, I feel like if I were to style him or do anything, even have a conversation, because he knows so much and he's so talented, it's either he's going to be like, dope, I love it, don't change, or I don't like it, here's how you can improve. And I feel like that's what I need. Like, I love that criticism, but I just love him as a person. He's who I look up to. Like, I love him.
Word. That was 2 dope names.
Yeah.
Speak that into existence, man. I think that's coming for
Definitely will be.
Yeah,
look,
sure.
We're gonna look back on this in a few years. I'm gonna be like, I did it.
Yeah, facts, big facts. Before we wrap up real quick, I know you said your daughter is actually part of the line because you make kids clothes. Also, I'm saying. So like real quick, you know, a lot of lines don't really cater to kids, you know what I mean? They usually just go with adults. So like, was your daughter the inspiration for you saying, oh, I'm gonna do a kids line too? Because, you know, normally it's like you gotta buy like you'll get Nike, Oshkosh bagage, something. So I just thought it was really dope that you had, you know, the kids line with it. Like, so she was the inspiration for that?
Definitely. Yeah, having a child definitely changed my perspective on the world. I actually did want to start it off with a kids line, but I like, my mind just goes crazy. So it's so many things that I wanted to do. So I really tried to incorporate everything and make it make sense. And having her a part of that definitely does make it make sense. Her line within 81SIXED is Mars season. So
dope. Real quick, can we get the backstory on that name?
Oh, Mars is her name.
That's the name.
And it's like season. That's just, I know all my other stories is pretty like crazy, but that's just that's simple. Yeah.
That's dope.
So I just want to say thank you everybody for viewing. I love what I do. I hope you love it too. Check my link in my bio. My personal Instagram is J Milann. That's Jai Milann with 2 N's. It has my 81SIXED productions page, and it also has my 81SIXED style page as well. If you ever want it, I do creative directing, styling. I produce events, whatever you name it. Just hit me up. Also, check out my shop as well. Share, like, subscribe to my YouTube, you know, everything. But in general, like, I just love building the community. So I have events sometimes catered towards small businesses. So if you're a small business, especially in Houston, I always do events around Juneteenth. So hit me up and be a part of that. It's always like free to a low cost for vending. The event is always free. So that's something I'm looking forward to. And then also, I produce small events, like I said, on the side. But my next big fashion show will be in August. And I'm not going to spill too many beans right now, but just hit me up, follow me so y'all can see the art and the magic of it. Thank you, Chance, for this wonderful interview.
Man, appreciate your time for real, man. Everything you're doing is really dope. You know, we support you. We think you're gonna do big things. Yeah, that's gonna be it for us today, man. You guys heard her. You feel me? Follow her and all her socials. We appreciate y'all tuning in and vibing with us. Make sure y'all follow Taco Tuesday podcast. Follow me on the socials. Follow everybody on the socials. Y'all not doing nothing else. You're on your phone all day anyway. Take one click, man. Stop being lazy. That's it for us, man. Hey, I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
Bye.